prime Tommy Morrison was one of the most dangerous left hookers the heavyweight division had ever seen. A man who could take your head off with either hand and had the heart to walk through hell to do it.
I get so much attention as a heavyweight fighter, and a lot of it because I'm a white guy, you know, but I can't help that.
Have a little bit more.
In today's video, we're breaking down one of the most savage fights of Morrison's career. The night a veteran who thought he'd seen it all found out the hard way.
He lost the Olympic trials, a big right hand.
That the Duke was on a completely different level. Tommy Morrison wasn't only a puncher. Let's get into it.
Can Tommy Morrison become a heavyweight championship contender fighting people like Carl Williams?
Absolutely. If he knocks out Carl Williams spectacularly, he could get a title shot, maybe in his next fight.
By January of 1993, Morrison was a man on a mission with a 34-1 record and 30 knockouts, riding a 6-fight win streak and just one win away from a shot at the WBO heavyweight title. But standing across the ring was a man who had already been to the mountain.
It would have to be that I, Carl the Truth Williams, am the uncrowned king and the young heir to the throne and probably the baddest heavyweight in all the land.
Carl the Truth Williams, a crafty, durable veteran with 26 wins and 20 knockouts, who had already challenged for the world heavyweight title twice against Larry Holmes and Mike Tyson. He wasn't some gatekeeper. He was battle-tested, dangerous, and completely convinced that Morrison's power was overrated. That confidence was his biggest mistake.
If I was in Morrison's corner, they'd be down by his navel where they belong.
As soon as the bell rang, Morrison's mission was to show Williams his destructive power.
Landing solidly, yes. And there's the left hook, and down goes Carl Williams.
Left hook, which is unusual. He came over the top with it.
And that wasn't even the A-quality Morrison left hook. Down once.
He doesn't appear to be hurt or even dazed at this point.
Williams says that he's learned to shorten up his punches since the Tyson fight. Isn't as vulnerable to the power punches as he used.
Right hand by Williams is solid on Tommy Morrison's cheek.
And Morrison lands another left hook, and Carl will be wobbling a little bit
as round one comes to a close.
Again, as you say, he's the experienced guy in there.
Williams was surviving, but Morrison was finding his range. Every shot landing harder than the last.
This time he's hurt a little bit more back.
Let's see what kind of a finisher Tommy Morrison is.
Morrison trying to finish with the uppercut, comes back with the left hook. Carl Williams trying to prove to Morrison that he's still there.
Right hand by Williams.
And free. Punch out of there. He got two hands free. What's all that punch? Time.
And Carl Williams makes it out of round three.
See your jab, son, okay? Stay out in the center of the ring.
This was a wonderful punch because it was a short punch. Watch that. It was a straight left hand and it seemed to hit. But this is the kind of resistance and the kind of a fight that Morrison needs.
That's right. If he comes out of this fight and wins this fight,
With Carl Williams, I'd start moving.
Williams had the experience, but experience doesn't stop a big punch like that.
Williams is talking to him now. That's really a sign of confidence.
But in the last two rounds combined, he's only thrown 35 punches.
Morrison wasn't just hurting him anymore. He was breaking him down round by round.
Trying to learn how to pace himself. Solid right hand.
And Carl the Truth says no. And Morrison hits him again
For good measure. Morrison a little wobbly.
Tommy stalking him again. Let's see if he can land a left hook.
Get behind the neck.
But want that jab working overtime.
What's Morrison not doing?
that's the old Customato theory, which
I certainly never approved of.
he says, all right, throw a 4-6-2, as if the other guy's going to just...
Move out of the way and let you throw that combination.
I don't think that's a good way to train a fighter, to tell you the truth.
Well, I think a 7 is a jab because he just threw 2 jabs.
And Williams just threw a beautiful 1-2. There's that left hook.
He was out of gas. Looked like the fight was like hip was going to take over in one punch.
Again, I'd like to see Williams moving a little bit more to his right.
Williams had been here before, against Holmes, against Tyson. But this was different. Morrison smelled blood.
Hang on, there. Come on. Come on, all right. Step back. You'll stop it now. Here we go.
Extending the jab and landing it.
Morrison a little bit busier in this round.
Right hand again by Williams.
And Williams is scoring points with that left jab.
Now, if it becomes a tactical boxing match,
That is all to Carl Williams' advantage.
Tactical, Jim. These guys are really hitting each other with a lot of hard stuff.
And whatever number 7 is, Tommy Morrison still isn't throwing it.
doesn't help.
I guess it's even on my card because Morrison's got 2 2-point rounds and Williams has a 3-point round, so the points are...
Williams had nothing left, and Mills Lane had seen enough.
Mills Lane was saying that was an unintentional butt, and there is blood coming from the top of the forehead of Morrison.
That's right. There's a left hook.
Carl Williams has taken that left hook better and better.
And now Carl's a little wobbly. And there's another left.
And Morrison's got a chance to finish him off.
Morrison with the right hand. He's going to throw the left hook one more time.
To the break here, and Carl Williams is in trouble.
And Williams is looking for the referee to stop the fight.
He doesn't know where he is.
Williams is already busted up.
And Mills Lane has stopped the fight.
Another
Power punching comeback for Tommy Morrison.
He did it against Joe Hip last year.
He did it again tonight.
And he's, as I said, he's
To be dangerous no matter who he fights.
where he fights him. Always has a chance to get you out of there.
And the crowd stands and cheers.
And Carl Williams sits down in Tommy Morrison's corner.
He is still utterly dependent on the left hook.
And it is still the greatest left hook in the heavyweight division.
Morrison did what the experts said was impossible. Defeated a man who was said to be a much better boxer. And this is why you don't mess with a man who carries the firepower of the Duke.